Now we will learn about the graphical representation of motion. So in this, first of all comes the distance time graph. So let us see what happens here. The change in position of a body with time can be represented on the distance time graph. Here on the x-axis time is taken and on the y-axis distance is taken. So what happens in the first case? Let us see. If the uniform speed is taken, in case of the uniform speed, the distance and time graph is a straight line. We get a linear line, we get a straight line in case of the uniform speed when a graph is plotted between distance and time. Why does this happen? This happens because in uniform speed, an object travels equal distance in equal interval of time. So how we can determine the speed of the body from this distance time graph? Let us see that. Suppose we want to find out the speed of an object when it moves from point A to point B. So during this moment, the distance covered by the object is denoted by S2 minus S1. S1 was the initial distance and S2 is the final distance. So total distance traveled by the object is S2 minus S1. And the time taken to cover this distance from point A to point B is denoted by T2 minus T1. T1 is the initial time and T2 is the final time. So total time taken will be T2 minus T1. Now we will place these values in the formula. V is equal to S by T, where S represents S2 minus S1 and T is representing T2 minus T1 as per this graph. Now, looking at the graph, we find out that the value of S2 is 20 meters and S1 is 10 meters. We will substitute the values. Similarly, the value of T2 is 10 seconds and the value of T1 is 5 seconds. Again, we will substitute the values. And after calculation, it comes out that the speed of the object is 2 meters per second. So this is how we can calculate the speed of the object in case of the uniform speed through the distance time graph. If a distance time graph is given and a question is asked in which you have to find out the speed of the object when it moves from a certain point to another point, you can find out in this way. Now comes the distance time graph for non-uniform motion. Here you can see the graph which we have obtained, it is a non-linear one. Straight line is not there. Why? Because here non-uniform motion is being considered, and in non-uniform motion an object travels unequal distance in equal interval of time, and this leads to a non-linear graph. Okay, straight line is not obtained, a parabola kind of graph is obtained over here.